Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Harakakadash, the brothers unto the apostles and the elders that great men so not surely do well, and that taught us the truth, peace and blessings out there to the brethren that push this word with all diligence and in all sincerity, with all faithfulness, This is matter now from each other on campus, and I came to that video here, but another topic of mine. Let's laugh in here because we in some exciting times. You see, in some very exciting times. But Alex gonna read this precept here. And we're going to a little bit you'd see the video before on how the elites plan or make their plans to do or to fulfill their agenda, or to fulfill their goal, and they put their plans in movies, they put their messages in movies, and it just flies straight over every single person. Well, not every single person, but majority of you people out here. And that fly over your head. You go in theater and you watch these movies, and you just watch that face value, and you're not watching it spiritually, you're not watching it to see the deeper messages behind it. And this is there's an example where they show you that how they plan to end the world. Through a control measure. Through a control means so they're not gonna let it the end of the world happen on its own, but they're gonna control it where everything would be standing still when they're done. And the way that they choose was through a virus. Now it's the same thing that happening now, where they're gonna be able to so-called crash their economies, get rid of the dollar, and have a global great reset, have a one world order. But it's not gonna be as they plan it to be, because they're gonna have a lot of riots, they're gonna have a lot of you're gonna have a lot of looting, you're gonna have a lot of killing, you're gonna have a lot of uprising. The scriptures say the power shall stand in fear. You're gonna have fear, people dropping down dead from heart attack because of the amount of fear gonna bring. But nevertheless, this is Psalm 64 verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." And we see now they're rising up. They bringing their plans into fruition at this point in time, because they already, set the stage for it. They set the stage decades, years, planning how they're gonna reset everything, and how they're gonna have everybody as slaves, and how they're gonna have just a selected few, ruling. They set the stage for it, and that is their secret counsel, because they commune among themselves, and how they're gonna accomplish this matter is it says who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot at the arrows, even bitter words, because all they imagine is how to oppress, how to get rid of the Israelites, how to get rid of even majority of their own people, and how to be in total dominance and total and complete control. And they do all of this in the name of democracy. They tell you it's democracy, but that is authoritarian rulership. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And who is the perfect? The perfect are the Israelites. The perfect are the Israelites in the eyesight of the Most High. The perfect are the Israelites. Scriptures talk about the man whom the Most High imputed no iniquity, in whom the Most High have seen no guile. Blessed is him. The Most High ain't seen no guile. Scriptures talk about he hath not found iniquity in Israel, in Jacob. It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. The commune of laying snares. Privily they say, who shall see them? When you look up the word commune, it says a verb, so I go down to the verb. It says share one's intimate thoughts or feelings with someone, especially on a spiritual level. You know, so the commune of laying snares. You know, they come up, they have the summits, they have the G7 meeting, G21 meetings. You know, they have the World Economic Forums, and they come to make their plans on how, you know, they're gonna continue to afflict us, how they're gonna continue to oppress us, how they're gonna continue to have us at the bottom, how they're gonna continue to, you know, to kill us, and then eventually how they're gonna get rid of us when their kingdom is built up. You know, because the goal was to build up their kingdom and then get rid of us. You know, the scripture say, a man's idle how go again by every idle word a man speak, so shall he be punished or judged by it, something so. Because that is what's gonna happen to them in our kingdom. We're gonna use them to build up our kingdom, and our kingdom is already built up and established. Then we're gonna get rid of them. I'm talking about E. You know, the biblical Idumeans. Scripture said they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. You know, so they make up their plans on how, you know, to continue to oppress us, how they're gonna continue to afflict us, how they're gonna continue to have us as subjects, and they're gonna continue to have us hand to mouth, you know, feeding from them hand to mouth. So Psalms 10 verse 2, it says, the wicked in his pride that persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desires, and blessed the covetous, whom the Most High abhorred, whom Yahweh abhorred, the wicked through his pride. Through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts, because they reach a level now where they think that, you know, they're above the Most High, or they're equal to the Most High. It says his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He had said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Yeah. He don't imagine his kingdom gonna fall, because he thinks that his kingdom gonna stand forever. But that is you see, that is the reason why they call themselves Jews. That is the reason why they call themselves Israel, or trying to personify Israelites. Because they know these promises are the promises made to the Israelites, that we're gonna have a kingdom that can never be destroyed. They're gonna be eternal. Like nobody wouldn't be able to, you know, destroy or throw down or defeat. So they even lie to themselves and deceive themselves into believing that they are the Jews and their kingdom gonna stand forever. It says, verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of villages, in the secret places that he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. And the poor is not even a threat to him. He just does not want to see the poor. He just does not want to see Israelites, you know, in existence. He have that spiritual hatred towards Israelites. They're talking about these Idumeans. So they come up in the meetings, in the secret councils, and come up with their plans, with their schemes, with their agendas, Agenda 21, Project Warp Speed, Project Blue Beam, all these different things. They try to lay snares, Rex 84, they try to lay snares for us, so that we will fall, into his trap and be ensnared and be killed. It says he lie in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lie in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he throweth him into his net. It says he crouched and humbled himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He had said in his heart, the Most High had forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. And that is the level of pride he reached, that the Most High, he's seen studying that. The reason why they started believe that is because the amount of atrocities they done to the people of Israel, that they think that but the Most High cast them off. They say no, they just punishing them for their sins. But the Most High say you overdo it. The Most High tell them you overdo it. And they in fact was ensnared with that, because the Most High gave them a reason. The Most High is now justified in destroying them. He laid a snare for them, and they was taken with it by it. Yes, no, let's see. See all like Jeremiah. Hey, could you? It says Jeremiah 50 verse 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou wast taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. Understand? That snare was Israel. Taking the Lord's, chosen people and carrying them to bondage, and, oppressing them, afflicting them, murdering them, lynching, doing all sorts of, the worst of the worst they did unto us. And that was a trap. So that the Most High justified in destroying you. That was the snare that you take, that you was ensnared into. That was the bait. That was the fish bait that you went behind, and you end up getting that hook sticking in your jaw because of covetousness. Understand? You're being greedy. You wanna have everything. You want the Lord's people to be even your inheritance. Psalms 50 verse 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High said, Yahweh, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, and thou slanderest thine own mother's son. And all the propaganda, the push, all the fake news, lies, the false flags that they push on the media is just set against us. It's not set against anybody else, and it's set against us. They might have problems with Ishmael, but their main goal is us. Their main plan is against us. To wipe us off the face of the earth. It says, these things that hast thou done, and I kept silence. The Most High leave you play game. It says, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. But the Most High is not wicked. The Most High is a just power. The Most High, the scripture says, he will hold his tongue no more touching the wickedness. You know, so the Most High, right? As the scripture say, the division is for an appointed time. The Most High give you your appointed time to rule. You do and do and do, and you waited for a response, and the Most High, the Most High kept silence, and you thought that, the Most High and you are friends. The Most High, want to actually see people get destroyed. But the Most High don't actually want to see people just get destroyed. It says, but I will reprove thee, and I have and set them in order before thine eyes. This is Isaiah 46, 40, 46, 47, and it's no. That's no. This is Isaiah 42 verse 30. It says, Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. Scripture says in Zechariah, he have a jealousy for Zion. He's jealous for Zion. It says, he shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself, nor will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. See, the Most High held his peace before, and watch you nations take advantage of his inheritance. As the scripture says, he made his arm bare, and you people took advantage of it, especially you Idumeans. Now the Most High the scripture say, he gonna cry as a travailing woman. He gonna stir up jealousy like a man of war. And he is a man of war. Yahweh is a man of war. And he shall prevail against his enemies. Meaning he gonna defeat you. So the snare that is setting for us, you're gonna fall by that very same said snare. Hey, so with that, I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Basham, Rakakatash, the balance unto the apostles and the elders of great men, so that surely do well. Peace and blessings to the men that push this word in and day out, and until next time, I want to say shalom.